Good evening, everybody. This is Robin with another edition of Horror Pop After Midnight. And my guest tonight she's a writer, she's an actress, Michele Dawson. How's it going, Michele?
Hi, it's going well. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
All right. Let's talk about last year. I met you for the very first time at the Halloween 45th anniversary convention in Pasadena, California, and this was your very first convention appearance. So what was it like for you?
Oh, it was everything and more than I could have ever imagined. It was so wonderful to be around such a beautiful community of people who are so excited to share this common love of Halloween. The people I met that day, well, the whole weekend, were just some of the nicest people. And I just felt so honored to be there.
Yeah, it was a blast. So did you have any interesting fans you met that really got your eye?
Oh, okay. One example, I met this lovely couple, and the gentleman was dressed up as Michael Myers, and he had a full, everything from head to toe, and even props. And he was so kind, and then he had the lady with him speaking because he was completely silent and just took on character. And so she would kind of say, hey, he's asking if he can take a picture with you. And I'd say, okay. And then, so it was really nice to have her kind of translate. And we had we got some fun shots from it, just sort of playing around and being a little bit in character. And that was a blast. Another highlight from that was I had one of my friends that I actually know through my partnered acrobatics, and he was also in a Halloween, and so he was there as well. So it was super fun to get to meet up with him, and we did a couple of acrobatics things walking around the crowd, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a good convention. One of my favorites of the convention was when I saw James Jude Courtney. He was walking around, and he got surrounded by like 20 guys dressed as Michael Myers all at once. It was wild.
I think I saw those guys, yeah.
I wonder what was going through.
One other moment, there was another moment that really I will forever keep in my memory and in my heart. It touched me so much. There was this one lovely lady, and she was walking with her friend, and she was maybe 20 feet away from me. And she was like, she started screaming and almost like hyperventilating when she saw me. And so I just, she went by and did another loop around me, and I waved at her and said hello. And she was like, she's waving at me. And I just felt so flattered that she was so excited to see me in real life. And, of course we took pictures together and everything. So yeah, I just met some lovely people that weekend.
Yeah, it was a great convention. Now, let's talk about your character, Nurse Debbie, in Halloween Ends. And the cool thing about your character in the film, you performed your own stunts as well.
I did. Yeah, so before we shot, actually, I had a phone call with David Gordon Green, our director, and he was like, all the stunts, he's like, I feel like based on your, acrobatic capabilities that you should be able to do these. And he kind of explained and described to me what they would be, but he said, we'll have a stunt person there as well, just in case you don't feel like doing any of them. But I got to set, and the days that we shot my death scene were the last 2 days that I shot the movie. And so by that point I was, getting more comfortable, on set and around everybody. And I just felt really safe to try the stunts myself. I felt like I was in good hands. And Corey guided me and showed me, sort of how it was going to go. And they kind of told me where in my body things should hit to keep me safe. And, yeah, it was just such a fun experience getting able to do everything Nurse Deb and just be completely in that movie and immersed in the character. And for me, it helped so much being able to do the whole death scene myself, because it just really, I felt like I was, I was living it in a way, and I was able to really emote and get where I felt like I wanted to go as an actor by doing all the movements myself.
Yeah, that was a pretty epic kill scene. I mean, I like to go back and like watch it over and over again because it was an epic kill scene. It was like a homage to the original 78 Halloween, which made it special.
Exactly. And for me, I just felt so honored to have that moment that was a callback to the original. I thought that was pretty cool. And I was so excited, for Nurse Deb's death. I felt like it was a good one. I felt like it was a memorable one in the movie. And I had a great time shooting it.
I bet you did. And also, let's talk about your on-screen chemistry with Andy as well.
Oh, yeah. Enjoyed her so much. We would hang out, while we were getting our makeup done in the morning. It would be super early. And so all of us in there were kind of bonding over, how early it was. And she brought in these delicious looking breakfast smoothie sort of things in the morning. And so it's just fun to be able to kind of, talk real life with her, get to know her as a person. And then obviously that carried on to the screen as we, played co-workers and friends and, have a really interesting relationship between those two characters. But yeah, I had a blast playing off of her, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, what was it like to work with James Jude Courtney wearing the Michael Myers mask? Was he very intimidated and scary at the same time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I tried not to, I wanted to make sure that I was still able to be scared by it, which I really was. Like, the first few takes, I was just genuinely scared because he's so large. So his mask coming out you full force, and then with that mask on, it is terrifying. And I mean, the mask alone by itself is terrifying. I would see it sort of sitting on like a mannequin in a room when they weren't using it, and it would kind of creep me out. And then putting it on James Jude Courtney as, he's coming at me with intention, was very frightening. But he's just the absolute sweetest. So, they would give him breaks, taking off the mask and things like that in between. And he just talked about how grateful he was for Halloween, for this franchise. And, just, kind of a reminder to just always appreciate, these moments. And, yeah, he was just so lovely and so wonderful.
So was this your first horror film you ever did?
This was my first big horror film that I've ever done. I've done some smaller scale thrillers, and I was on the show Criminal Minds, which isn't necessarily horror, but I was stabbed to death in that episode, True Genius. And yeah, and it was funny because one day in the trailers, Jamie Lee Curtis came in and she was doing her makeup next to me, and she was like, I heard you had a good death scene yesterday. And we kind of chit-chatted about the fact that I had been on Criminal Minds and had been stabbed there as well, and just kind of joked that, it's sort of my forte. I can just put that on my resume, getting death by stabbing is sort of my expertise.
Yeah, it is, because she gets stabbed like very hardcore by Michael Myers, and then you're over in Criminal Minds getting stabbed by a copycat serial killer too. So
I know.
So what was it like to be on the set of Criminal Minds? Because that's actually a really great show.
Oh, it was great. It was the first TV show my first TV show credit, and where I got to speak and everything, and it was a blast. I remember laying on the ground, post-mortem, and they had the fake blood on me, and it was sort of sticky, and so ants were starting to crawl on my face, and I remember Shamar Moore just like picking some ants off me, and it was a really great experience. We were out in like the woods of Griffith Park up on a hill, and they had these huge rigs with lights beaming down on us, and they had set it up just to look like this cute little park with the little street lamps. And the guy I acted opposite, he was wonderful, and I felt very supported there. The stunt coordinator on that show was wonderful, and they always kind of like let you touch and feel the fake knives, so that as an actor that you're safe, before getting to do these scenes. But yeah, it was a great experience. I'm honored to have that as my first TV credit.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So in that scene, Criminal Minds, since you did your stunts on Halloween Ends, did a stunt coordinator let you do a little of your stunts on Criminal Minds too during that kill scene?
Yeah, I did. That was all me. I did all of that for Criminal Minds as well. And in fact, even during the audition process, I was acting a lot of that out with the zip ties on the casting director. So all the like zip tie work that I do with my boyfriend in that episode, and all of that, getting thrown to the ground and stabbed. It's all me.
So
one of the things about having a gymnastics background is one of the first things they teach you is how to fall. So it's fantastic that I get to implement that all the time with the stunts, whether you're being slammed against a wall, and just kind of knowing how to land a bit so that you're protecting your body.
So now it seems like you're in love with horror. So do you see you doing any more horror roles?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. So yeah, anyone out there watching, feel free to send them my way. I have a blast being able to utilize my physicality, which I feel like I get to do a lot with horror, whether it's running or jumping or being thrown down or whatever. It's just so much fun when you get to combine all those elements. So yeah, I'm definitely open to doing more.
So what was that one horror film that got you really into horror that you watched?
Ooh, well, to be honest, I mean, I still get spooked super easily by horror movies. So I don't watch as many as maybe I act out things from them, whether it's, short films and things like that. But, gosh, that's a great question. I mean, to be quite honest, I love the original Halloween. I think it just kind of sets the stage for everything. And then there's, Hitchcock, The Birds. And I'm looking forward to, I still haven't watched David Gordon Green's new Exorcist yet. So that is on my list. But yeah.
So have you, The David Allen, I've seen the sequel to Exorcist. I really enjoyed it. It was a hit and miss with the audience. You either liked it or you didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. So, did you see the first Exorcist film as well?
Oh, sure. It's classic. Frightening.
Oh, it's very frightening. I remember seeing it as a little kid. Linda Blair scared the living tar out of me.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that type of horror is one of the scariest to me, for sure.
In one word, what would you describe horror in your definition?
Oh, wow. What a great question. One word. Chills.
Woo, that's a good one. That's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chills get you the goosebumps on your arms, or watching a certain killer get right under your skin.
Right. Yeah.
I like that. That's a good question. You answered it pretty good. Chills. I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one. So let's go back to David Gordon Green. What was it like to work with him?
Oh, I mean, he's the dream director to work with. I could just sing his praises all day long. He's so easy to be around, first of all. He makes you feel comfortable. He's just so relaxed in his way of directing. And, I know people say this over and over about him, but he loves collaborating with people. And that's so much fun to be able to say, hey, I got an idea. Can we try it? And just being able to play on set is just a dream as an actor. So being able to do a scene, go, okay, that was cool. Maybe let's try it this way now too. See what that's like. So I feel like that's where you find some of the best moments. And in fact, some moments made it into the movie that weren't even written into the script for Nurse Deb, because David had an idea and he'd be like, hey, I've got this idea. When you walk in the room and lift up the kimono out of the box, let's add a line there. And so he gave me a line or two to play with, and I said the one line that, is there a doctor in the house? I said that one time, and it made it in the movie. So I just find that when you have that ability to play and collaborate with people, sometimes you just get these little golden nuggets from that. And so, he's just such a fun guy too. So fun.
He seems like it. I would love to meet him. I would love to pick his brain of his unique filmmaking and what's going through his mind when he, films certain films. He would be a great interview. Yeah. You were in a part in one of my favorite movies I watched back in the day, Airborne.
Oh, I think different one.
Yeah.
The one that I was in was more of a smaller film. Probably not the one that you saw.
No, I'm talking about the smaller one. I'm not talking about the skateboard. I'm not talking about the rollerblade one. I was talking about the one you just mentioned.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
Hey,
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I love to do research on my guests. I like to.
That's amazing.
I like to do surprise.
I didn't know anyone had seen that.
Hey, I'm a cinephile. I love all kinds of movies besides horror. I watch everything. So I kind of like whoever I have in my show, I try to find different questions that nobody's asked before, and it gets you on your toes.
Yeah, that was a surprise. Yeah, that was a hot day. That was a hot day out in Santa Clarita, and with a prop plane that's suspended off the ground, like I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 feet. And it was decked out in the, what was it, 1950s-ish style.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And they were trying to like pump air conditioning in there at the same time. And it was fun. It's fun kind of playing those little snooty roles that are a little more character-y sometimes.
You can pull those snooty roles real good. You can also have that little you can like Nurse Deb. I like how you added that little sassiness about her.
Thank you. Yeah, it was something that I tapped into in the audition. They had written down that she was putting lipstick on in a mirror for the scene, with Andy, and that small little thing just sort of clicked for me, and it gave me the sass that then I tried to carry throughout with Nurse Deb.
Yeah, Nurse Deb, I have to say, was one of my favorite characters in Halloween Ends, which you really were, and I'm not just saying that to say it. I just enjoyed it. I just liked how you portrayed her, the sassiness, the mannerisms, how you were real comfortable, portraying that role before that epic kill scene.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. You have no idea what that means to me. The fact that people enjoyed her so much, just it's hard to explain what that feels like as an actor. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I mean it. I'm not just saying it. I mean it because when I watch certain films, I like certain characters in films. I like to see how they portray it, how they do the mannerisms or how they portray it or how they can turn it on and off and just live it at the right moment in front of the camera. I like actors and actresses that can pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, she just had so many fun moments to be flirty and sassy and it's fun playing a character that's so self-involved. It just gave me so much to play with, and it was a dream. It was a dream getting to act opposite all of the actors I did. Michael O'Leary, he and I have just become close since the movie, and we talk regularly, and almost all my scenes were with him, and so I just really, really enjoyed the connection we had on set, and he was my bud, and so it was fun getting to play opposite him and be sassy, and it was good.
All right, when you're not in front of the camera or writing, or doing stunts, all that great stuff, which you do in your craft because you love your craft. Do you have a passion or a geeky passion that you really like to do?
Well, I mean, my passion is my acrobatics. Honestly, I spend so much time doing that. I mean, I geek out on that quite a bit of kind of learning, the body and the physicality to make skills work, and sort of redefining some things that are out there, and learning more about circus and how people did things like Icarian and a long time ago, and then implementing it and practicing it and training it. And there's a nice community of acrobats. So once you're kind of established in it, it's interesting because we all share, people are posting on Instagram and social media all the time. And it's a way to see what other people are doing in other parts of the world. Like the Argentinians, oh my goodness, they're going crazy right now. They are doing some crazy skills. And so it's really fun sort of like being in the community and being able to see what people are doing in different countries. And then we all kind of like push each other in a way. 'Cause it's kind of like, ooh, they did that. How'd they do that? Ooh, I want to try that. And everybody just keeps advancing because of social media and us seeing what's going on around the world, what they're doing over in Spain and Portugal. And yeah, so it's really fun in that way. And it keeps me really busy when I'm not doing things related to my craft of acting, which is also very time consuming. So after those things, other than that, then it just becomes sort of like cooking and eating and when you have time for it, and baking, and found some fun recipes. I've been making my own little bars and using nut butters and
yum.
Yeah. I love to eat. I love sweets. I love chocolate. And so being able to kind of create things like that is always fun. And made a gelato recently with my mom that was absolutely to die for. But yeah, all those things combined keep me pretty busy.
Now, speaking of how you like acrobats, have you thought about doing any performing in shows?
No, not any official shows like Circus Soleil, but it's always fun when I am invited to participate or collaborate with a brand doing my acrobatics and getting to perform in that way. And then I also get invited to teach at some acro festivals. So that's a lot of fun as well.
They have acro festivals? I never knew that. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're all over the world. Yeah, yeah.
What's it like at these acro festivals? I bet it's pretty fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's basically like different kinds of partnered acrobatic classes, all throughout the day for usually a long weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there's all types of partnered acrobatics, from standing dance lifts to, L-basing flows to Icarian. And it's really fun to get to go learn from other teachers that come to the festivals and see what they're up to, and have them, look at your practice and give you feedback. And I love them. They're so much fun. There's usually also a Friday night or a Saturday night, actually, sort of Olympic competition performance, and people normally get to sign up for the performances ahead of time, and they bring in anything. It could be they bring in a musical piece, or they sing, or they, show the type of acrobatics that they excel in. There's normally fun little competitions, like handstand competitions and things like that. So it's a blast. And, sometimes some of the festivals you dress up, on certain days it has themes, and it's really fun. It's a fun community to be a part of.
Since they dress up and all that, have you ever thought of doing a horror theme?
A horror theme at the festival?
Yeah.
I haven't. I should suggest that.
You should. That would be wild.
That would be wild. Yeah. Yeah. I don't run any festivals. I just get to partake and teach at them. But yeah, that would be fun to suggest. Especially there used to be a festival around Halloween. I don't know if it's going on anymore though. But yeah, I never attended that one. So they may have already had something like that and I just didn't know. But yeah, that would be fun.
I think it would be fun. I would definitely.
Yeah.
I would definitely go to that just to see what kind of costume you have. I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. One of my buddies wanted to dress up and do some Halloween acro pictures with me, and he wanted to dress up as Michael Myers and have me in the robe and shoot some fun content like that. But yeah.
That'd be cool. So,
yeah.
Do you see yourself doing any more conventions to meet your fans?
Oh, I would love to. It's just a matter of being connected to them, I guess. But I'd be happy to, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I had such a phenomenal experience for my first convention, back in October. And like I said, I mean, it was so exciting for me to meet so many people that were so excited about the work I did in the movie, and fans of the franchise, and fans of the David Gordon Green series, the trilogy, and to see the artwork. I was so impressed by all the different artists that were there, and all the products that people had. I mean, I could have just spent a whole lot of money in there, because there was some cool art that I was like, "Ooh, I should buy that." And of course, I got one of the books with the trilogy, and so a blast. I enjoyed, going and looking around the festival as much as I did, or actually, I enjoyed meeting the people that I got to meet more. But the whole experience I would love to do it again.
So, where can everybody find you on social media to see what you're going to be doing next?
Yeah, well, I spend the most of my social media attention on Instagram. So my Instagram is at It's Michele Dawson. So ITSMICHELE DAWSON.
So, is there any upcoming projects you're going to be doing next?
Yeah, so I have something that's kind of on a back burner, and I'm just kind of waiting for things to solidify there. And once they solidify a little bit more, I'll be excited to announce it. And in the meantime, I'm doing the actor thing, auditioning for projects, and we'll see which one lands first. I also have another director that has a project in mind for me. So, so right now we're just kind of waiting to see which ball drops first.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. I had a blast.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and everybody, thank you for listening to Horror Pop After Midnight.